man, Pop's tripping. He wants me to ask for my brisket back. You know I wouldn't trip.
What brisket?
You know, the brisket I left at your house, man.
That's my brisket, punk!
Alright, ready?
Hello.
Hey.
Yellow.
Yellow. That's what my mom used to say. You're whooping our ass. It's like, you made horrible grades. You're the worst kid in the world. What did I do to deserve a kid like you? Ba-ding, ba-ding. Yellow. Like, mom is happy right now? What's going on? That's what would happen when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Welcome back to another installment of Grabbing the Brisket. I just wanted to say we really do appreciate you guys tuning in. We love the feedback. We love the support that we're getting from you guys. Please keep it up. We love hearing your stories. Alden, hit them with the business.
What's going on, guys? You can reach us all different kind of platforms, you know, Instagram, Facebook. It's the same handle. It's at Grab 'em in the Brisket. Twitter is at Grab the Brisket. And if you want to email us, grabeminthe @gmail.com. So, did I get all that right?
That's fantastic.
Hey, you had it right until you said, do I have that right? Yeah, actually, I think you're doing a great job, Al.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, can I say we got an email from one of the listeners, and he was a little concerned or complaining about the crickets in the background. And I just want to let you guys know that it's not our fault. It's Rick's fault. I mean, he's the one that's doing this, and I promise we'll get to the cricket situation. And we'll ask the crickets to just keep it down a little bit while we record.
I'm sure they will oblige.
Rick will bring his guitar and serenade those crickets to sleep, hopefully.
Yeah, listen, guys. Last week we recorded. There were two crickets. I walked this whole street right here. I only heard two. One was sitting out front right here of the door, right? The other one was sitting on the other side of the corner. James and I
think the cricket was in the tree.
He was in the tree. Yeah.
Well, we're now called Grabbing the Brisket and the Crickets. Wow, what's up, guys? How's everybody's week been?
Week's been good. Spent a little time in Corpus this week. A couple of days. It was nice. Stayed at the Omni. If you're ever going to Corpus, stay at the Omni. I probably drank my fair share of, Crown Royal, Double Crowns, and splash of Coke.
Probably.
Squeeze of lime.
You probably did that.
I did that.
Is that your go-to whiskey is Crown?
Like at home, no. At home, I like Jack. I'm a Jack guy. But on the road, you typically can't get like Gentleman Jack, or you're not going to get or Woodford. That's a really good one. But that's on the ice. I'll just drink that. So yeah, it's Crown of Coke, a little go-to.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did nothing this week. Not a damn thing.
Nothing at all.
Nope. Cleaned house. Hung around.
Well,
you posted our episode number 7.
Yeah, I did spend about, I don't know,
going through
a month and a half editing.
2 hours of material from last
that's
week.
what happens when I cut out because my child is sick. You guys don't stop recording. I came out the next morning to take my kids to school, and they were still over here like, should we stop? I don't know what to do. It was like 12 hours of recording. I was like, well, shit.
I felt horrible the next day. There was a lot of beers drank that night, and I woke up the next morning. I'm like, God bless, James. What's wrong with you? But that's not a total lie, John. I mean, you have been up
we got
to
a
things
chichada out there
this week. Didn't you just start a new diet?
I did just start a new diet like 3 days ago. Just kind of watching my calories. I'm down 5 pounds already,
Nice.
and I am so hungry. So hungry.
What kind of diet are you on, dude?
Just watching my calories.
Watching your calories, huh?
Well, let me tell you about my week and the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty shitty.
It's about to get crappy in here, folks.
And it was literally shitty. I had to go do a colonoscopy, and it was not fun. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't pleasant. You know, you got to drink this stuff. You got to do it. For me, it was like 6 p.m. Drink this solution, followed by some water, and then you're pretty much just, crapping your guts out for 3.5, 4 hours.
Sounds like a Wednesday to me.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday for me.
Did you guys go to Taco Bell or what? And then you follow it up 6 a.m. in the morning, and you do the regimen over again. The medicine itself And I guess it's a lot different from the way it used to be. I think you had to drink like this whole gallon of this stuff.
Big old jug.
Yeah, so it comes into like a couple of little, I'm not really sure what the portions are, but you fill the cup up halfway with the medicine and the rest goes with water. Chug it, follow it with a couple more glasses of water. And the flavor of it, I mean, it almost tastes like cough syrup. Yeah. So it's not horrible, but imagine chugging a whole bottle of cough syrup.
If you ask any 7-year-old, 6-year-old to take some cough syrup, it's the most disgusting thing in the world.
Yeah, and it's like bubblegum nowadays. And
Yeah.
No, my kids are good with it. Even my littlest one, they'll take it. They don't care.
what about swallowing with pills? How are
So,
y'all's kids with swallowing pills?
Hey, smash it up, man. Just
Yeah,
I'm snorting.
My kids
Yeah,
are good.
we're still working through that.
still working on that.
Yeah.
My kids take it without a drink. Like
Yeah.
my older two, at least, they just pop a pill in their mouth and swallow.
Yeah, just crush it up and snort it or something, right? Yeah, that's what y'all do.
That works too.
Anyways,
Anywho, so you were pooping.
Pooping a lot. I probably lost about 10 pounds, guys. So congrats.
Hey, way to go!
congratulations me. So,
I guess
yeah.
I need to switch diets.
I mean, you're on the wrong diet, John.
so you go today. So give us like a brief 30 minutes. Because for you, your day was 30 minutes long, or like you go in, you're on a table, they put you out,
Yeah, they knock you out.
knock you out.
Yeah.
Do they take your pants off, or you take your own pants off?
You know, you got to take your pants off. You get in the little hospital gown, and then they tell you to not button it up in the back.
Do you
and-
lay on your front, or do you lay on your back?
Stirrups.
And then
You're in the stirrups?
no stirrups.
Whoa, it's just like a...
What they do is they hook you up with the
Gynecological,
IV and they wheel you back, and then you get back there, and they roll you into this room, and I think they had jazz music playing or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's really-
Soft jazz. Nice
Yeah.
lighting. How was the lighting?
Lighting was, I didn't have my glasses on, so I really couldn't see that well, but the lighting wasn't too bright or whatever. And so I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for the anesthesiologist to give me the medicine, give me the night juice.
Pump me up. I
and
don't want to remember a thing.
It was, I can't remember the exact name of the medicine, but it was the same shit Michael Jackson took.
Federal.
No, it starts with the P. Propanol.
Yeah. So you take this propanol, Jackson killer.
Yeah.
We'll call it that.
Well, first they go, okay, Mr. Moore, can you turn over on your side? And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they start lifting up my my gown. And it's like, I want you to put your legs together, almost kind of like you're sitting. Bring your knees up closer towards your chest. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, are you going to go ahead and just knock me out now? Or what are we doing here? And then the flap of my little gown comes flying up. I mean, my ass just hanging out in the wind. I'm like, all right. I see stuff happening behind me, but I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see shit. And then finally the lady comes over, the nurse or doctor or whatever comes over and, all right, I'm going to give you your medicine now. And I'm like, please, now, hurry.
Please.
I think this guy's
People
fixing
seem
it. I
like-
think
I've
he's
already
a little
seen
anxious
too
to-
much.
to
Yeah.
get in there.
This guy's inside of me already. Please put me out.
I feel like a friggin' Jiffy
Holy
Lube where
shit.
they're sitting there just like rolling in cars as fast as they can, just like. I was like, oh.
I've seen enough
It's
to
not a
know that
lube
I've seen
change,
too
people.
much.
We already had this. Please put me out now. Please put me out.
So, I mean, it wasn't horrible. The worst part is, you have to poop a lot. You can't drink or eat, so you start getting a little dehydrated and you kind of get a little fluish like. But, I
Okay,
mean,
so explain the wake up. Like, do you initially clutch the top of your shirt, right? And just go, what's going on?
no, the wake up.
Where have I been?
No, I mean, I just slowly started coming out of it, and then I can hear Laura and my wife Laura. I can hear her and the doctor talking, and they're just like, "Oh, everything's great, everything was good, blah blah blah." And then as I'm coming out, he leaves, and then it's just Laura there, and it took me a couple of seconds to get my bearings, and then after that, it was good. I mean, it was a couple of minutes. I was fine. I think 5-10 minutes. I was getting dressed and I was out of there. I mean, walking out of there. I mean, you kind of feel like that you're buzzed a little bit, like you've had probably a 6-pack or so.
Totally want to do this now.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm going
Yeah.
3 times.
Yes. So not bad at all.
So everything good.
Everything's good. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Perfect.
That's a good week, if you ask me.
So another interesting thing that happened to me this week, I was traveling to work, doing my normal commute and listening to the podcast and doing what I do. I got probably about a 45-minute commute. I looked over, and the lady driving next to me was eating. And not only was she eating, but she was eating a big-ass bowl of cereal. And it took me back, and I had to double take, like...
Milk and everything.
Milk and everything. You know one of those things, like when you're driving down the road, like, and you pass up a car, or you come up on a car and you go to pass it, what's your natural instinct to do?
Oh, you're going to
Glance.
Like, you always turn over
You're
and
gonna
look.
Just a glance.
Yeah, just a glance.
Yeah.
What's going on inside
Yeah.
your car?
You ever get that when you glance over, the other person glance over at the same time?
Then it's awkward.
Get that awkward
Then you're
stare.
like, this is weird now. I have to turn away real quick. And
Nope. The key is to stare back.
Right? Make eye
Only.
contact.
Make them turn.
so I looked over. I saw that she was chowing down on a bowl of cereal. I did not get what
What kind of cereal? it
kind of
was?
cereal it
Oh,
was.
disappointed, James.
No, it looked like she was almost to the very end of it. I mean, it was a glass bowl, and it was just full of milk. So she was down to the bottom of it. So I really didn't get the kind of cereal it was, but it got me thinking. I mean, that's pretty messed up. First of all, don't eat and drive like that.
Is it better than texting and driving?
Actually, I think it's probably worse. Right? I mean, I think there's probably certain states that probably have that banned or...
I don't know. I would think muscle memory more eating is better than having to look down at your phone and spell out words with your thumbs. At least you can just put a spoon right in your mouth.
I don't know.
Not that I'm going to do either one, but I say that.
I feel like cereal is a two-handed project. I mean, how do you do that and drive?
Oh, you're,
Well,
you're
that's
definitely
true,
taking
too.
your hand off the wheel so you can
Get your knee on it.
grab the bowl, spoon. I mean, you could probably hold the bowl and the spoon in the same hand as you drive. And then every once in a while, you're going to have to let go of the wheel and start,
It's
spooning
always so
that shit in
dangerous,
your mouth.
right? It's gonna be so dangerous.
Yeah, it better be a good cereal. What? And you don't know what
So-
kind it was, so...
So, and my question to you guys was going to be like, what's the weirdest thing that you've come across somebody chowing down on the road as you're driving to work?
I think we've probably all seen people eat and drink and do stupid stuff, right? But I guess I'll throw it back by saying this. People are crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure there's people that have been cooking food, driving down the road, like on a hot plate or something, and turning bacon and making omelets and shit. I mean, people are freaking nuts. Like you saw a bowl of cereal, which scarred you for life. But I have a feeling that if you were to go around the country, go around the world and see what people do, oh man, there's like no going back from that.
I mean, you think about it too. I mean, how many women are putting their makeup on the way to work as well? I mean, that's not safe at all.
Or guys.
Or guys, whoever's putting makeup on, We haven't got to the part of our podcast where we're famous enough to put makeup on every day to show up on camera, but some people need it. And
true.
there's people putting makeup on the way to work.
Yeah,
Mascara, they're looking in their mirror, and just, yeah.
cereal probably is the weirdest that I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen people eating sandwiches. I've seen people eating freaking sausage. A lot of it. I've seen people eat fruit. And one of my kind of pet peeves is somebody eating a banana, and then when they get done with the banana, they just chunk the peel out the window. You're like, what are you doing, asshole?
Do you know why they do
Mario
that?
Kart.
Because it's
That's where that
biodegradable.
came from.
Yeah, because they think it's biodegradable.
Because food, no, it is biodegradable.
Yeah, it is.
Food is, it's more acceptable to allow like a piece of an apple on the side of the road versus throwing your beer can on the side of the road, right?
Correct.
So
When I'm drinking beer while I drive, I
don't know.
always keep the beer can in
Yeah.
my vehicle.
I don't
Yeah,
know. People can make money off those beer cans if you think about it. Go return them to the recycling place. Boom. Now you got some dough.
did you just tell me I just got 0.15 of a penny?
Alton's just saying he likes to get back.
If you get, not that I do it, but I always tell even my wife Mandy, if something's collecting in your car or whatever, you got cup here, cup there, whatever. Like there's a trash can almost everywhere that you stop. You should be able to throw anything away in the trash. I'm of course we live in Texas, so what do you not do with Texas? Don't mess with
Texas.
it. That's right.
Exactly.
So littering, I mean, yeah, I get it, but like food and stuff like that, I see. I mean, something out there's probably going to eat it. A bird.
Littering and
Smoking the reefer.
Let me add this. Now, in the highway, okay, I guess, down a road or whatever, but one thing that I read an article about a while back that you need to watch out about, like if you're in a like forest, or if you're going camping or whatever it is, and you have that same mindset or mentality, like I'm going to chunk this apple out here, or I'm going to chunk this banana peel out here. It's biodegradable. I mean, the animals are going to eat them. Well, now you're introducing food into an animal's ecosystem that is not normally accustomed to. Now they're attracted to it. Now they're going to start going towards it and start invading areas that they weren't predominantly in. I mean, just kind of food for thought. I mean, but still, I don't want to drive over that fucking banana peel and get banana all over my damn car. That's what I'm mainly pissed out about, you know.
I was hoping you were going to say that you wouldn't spin out because that banana's so slippery. I mean,
Yeah.
Mario Kart, come on.
We're not going Mario
Classic,
Kart on that.
classic, man. Come on.
I was walking around that. Going back to the cereal on the highways, I was going to ask you guys, what is your favorite cereal?
My favorite, not that it's the best, but I was a big Golden Crisp, man. That stuff was good. Even that, but you get it to the knockoff brands, like, and those were so funny too. You know, you go to buy the store and they come in a bigger bag, you know, but bag of rings or something, they're like Fruit Loops.
What
And
is the
taste the
Golden
same.
Crisp,
It's the one with the bear,
mascot?
man.
Golden Crisp?
Is it a dog or is it's a bear? Is it a dog? I don't remember what that little dude was. I think it's a bear.
Wasn't honeycomb, was it?
No.
Sugar Smacks?
The Smacks was a
The Honey Smacks. Honey Smacks is what...
Smacks was a frog, right? Or,
Correct.
Yeah, is Golden Crisp, is that still a thing? Is it still around?
I'm pretty sure it was better. I thought it was better than Smacks. I mean, obviously, Fruit Loops are legit.
Meh.
John?
Yeah.
Peanut butter Captain Crunch. The best cereal, hands down.
Is that just the original Captain Crunch without the berries, or is there...
No. Come on,
The
man.
Reese's one.
Peanut butter
No.
flavored.
Peanut butter Captain Crunch. Have you not had
Or
peanut butter
peanut butter.
Captain Crunch?
No, I have not.
It's the most disgusting
Yeah,
cereal
I
on the market.
wouldn't put that in milk myself.
No.
What is wrong with you people?
We from
What's wrong
Texas,
with you?
brother.
Dude, it's the best cereal.
No, bro.
The original Captain Crunch has kind of like peanut
Crunch
butter
berries,
flavor to it.
As
Yeah,
a buttery
marshmallows.
flavor.
Maybe
Maybe
it's a-
peanut.
maybe it's
Yeah,
buttery.
it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peanut butter, Captain Crunch, put it in your mouth.
It's disgusting.
Thank me later.
So I'm going to say, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I really have a couple that I really like. Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
I was never big on that.
No, it's just sugary.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch with the Crunch Berries.
That's
I
a
was-
great
I was
one.
good with
That's
that.
a great
it's
one.
perfect if
The
you
other
need
one?
to like reskin the roof of your mouth.
Shredded wheat. What was it? The frosted?
Frosted mini wheats.
Frosted shredded wheats, yeah.
What about Kicks?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are kid tested.
Mother approved.
Correct.
Mine growing up was Cookie Crisps.
See, I wasn't on those. Neither.
Love the Cookie Crisps.
Those are
Oh,
so
keep
good, James.
Yes.
That's a great one. Yes, that's on my block too. Jesus, I forgot about that one.
Then you can get all into the Count Choculas and the
Fruity Pebbles?
Frankenberry,
Fruity
Fruity
Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
Like,
yes.
Cocoa
how much
Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles could you eat? Because let me tell you, they never filled you up. It was the milk that.
And you're definitely not eating Fruity
right?
Pebbles driving a car because those little things are hard to get to,
I really
especially at
took
the
out-
bottom.
Oh,
my
you're
mom's-
killing somebody
Trying to get
driving with
those.
Fruity Pebbles.
I took out my mom's huge bowl. I dumped like a half a box or maybe a whole box of Fruity
Mixing
Pebbles.
bowl?
Yeah, mixing bowl, and a half gallon or 3/4 of a gallon of milk into this big bowl, and I would eat all of the cereal. At the end, I would drink all the milk.
That's a good way to get sick,
It was the worst thing, the best thing I think I ever
right?
done.
You take a nap after that, right?
Oh, I totally passed out.
What about
Totally passed
What
out.
about Tricks?
So here's the thing: like Trix, Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, they all taste the same. It's just what shape do you want?
Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. You're welcome.
I love those. They're probably the second best cereal.
Frosted Flakes were pretty good. Tony the Tiger, man. They're great.
It's like saying grape nuts, right?
Yeah,
Grape nuts
Frosted
are
Flakes
so
just tastes
great.
like yeah.
What about Special K? Did y'all ever
That's
ever have to eat
Frosted
that kind
Flakes.
of stuff?
Whoever made Special K was like, people aren't buying this shit. Let's put sugar all over it, and then they made Frosted Flakes.
So speaking of, I was talking about the
They made cornflakes, then they made Frosted
Oh,
Flakes.
corn-
Yeah, that's what I'm
Flakes,
saying. Special K and it's the same. It's all the same.
So we can probably sit here all night and just discuss our favorite cereals, and we probably make our own podcast and call it Cereal Time. But let's go ahead and transition. We'll get into the barbecue portion of this podcast. And I was thinking earlier this week, and I was like, well, let me just go ahead and ask you guys. Texas style brisket. What's the first thing that pops into your mind?
Barbecue pit.
Oak, pecan.
I'm gonna say oak.
Yeah, well, it depends
Oak.
on where in Texas you are. I mean, mesquite maybe,
Fire.
I'm thinking maybe a S&P rub.
salt, pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's what I was thinking with salt and pepper. I mean, that's pretty synonymous with Texas style brisket. I mean, if you look at any videos that has to do with Aaron Franklin or any of these, badass pit masters here in Texas, they'll tell you it's 50-50 salt pepper all day long.
Liars.
Right.
They're doing something else. I'm telling you
Kosher
right
salt.
now.
Kosher salt.
Kosher salt and black pepper.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wrong
Salt
kind.
and pepper's here.
Wrong kind of salt and pepper, guys. So I thought it would be fun to do a little research on where salt, pepper came from, who invented it, or most likely it's not who invented it. It's just basically where it come from because, as you guys know, salt is a natural chemical that Mother Nature makes for us.
Right, that wasn't something invented.
Correct. And then pepper.
Discovered, maybe.
Discovered is the better word. And then pepper as well. It grows wildly, and I think India is one of the main producers. Some of the research I found, I think now, as of 2009, I think Vietnam is the biggest producer of pepper. We'll go through a couple of little history for you guys and then a couple of fun little facts. And by all means, chime in if you got any questions or any input. History says that salt's ability to preserve food was the founding contributor to the development of civilizations. And
That's pretty deep.
That's pretty crazy when you think about it. It's like, I mean, there's, in all the research that I did, there's empires and countries that rose and fell because of this salt and the salt trade.
Right, because before that, it was just like you had to find your food and eat it right then, or it's going bad.
Correct.
Sure.
Salt gave them the ability to preserve food, so they didn't have to rely on seasonability food.
Freezers.
Right, what was in season, what,
What
wasn't
was in season.
Which
So
I think
now
we,
that they
we
can-
touched on probably like in episode, what was that, 1 or 2 or something like that? 'Cause we were talking about, back in the day when they made a big kill, how you preserving.
They were talking about episode 2 when we were talking
Yeah.
about sauces. Yeah. So now that they can preserve food, they can have food for the winter, as opposed to I'm only going to be able to eat this cow, for this week,
Right.
and I'm done. So it brought, I guess, civilizations together. I mean, it's pretty interesting. If you guys want to check it out at home, just Google history of salt and just pull up the Wikipedia page, and I mean, they got a shit ton of facts on there for you guys. I'll rattle off a couple of for you guys that you may not know, which I certainly didn't. Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt, which is where we get the word salary. Because salary is a Latin word that I think means salt.
What if
Or
they were
salad.
paid in celery? And that's how we got salary.
Every
They would
cell,
be rabbits.
every cell in our body contains salt.
Yep.
An adult's body contains about 250 grams of salt.
So salt is the building block of
Life,
life.
Yeah.
Salt of the earth.
that's deep.
Unless you salt too much in your grass, and then your grass don't grow. When you salt the earth, nothing grows, by the way.
Is that where you were going
Yeah.
with that? Okay.
Well, funny you mentioned that. I mean, some of these wars that popped up and some of the battles you would have, and I don't know if it was the Roman Empire or what, it might have been the Roman Empire, but they would go pillage and
Loot.
plunder.
Plunder the village.
Plunder.
Plunder.
So they would take what they
Plunder
want.
the women and loot
Yeah.
the villages.
They would take what they want, and they would salt the earth before they left,
yeah.
because it pretty much just poisoned all the ground and
Made sure
poisoned
nothing else
everything.
was gonna grow.
So nothing else was going to grow.
That's some hateful shit right there.
No shit. Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
Damn. That's messed up.
Going into the American history, salt has been a major factor in the outcome of wars. In the Revolutionary War, the British used loyalists to intercept revolutionaries' salt shipments and interfere with their ability to preserve food. During the War of 1812, salt brine was used to pay soldiers in the field as the government was too poor to pay them. Another little tidbit, before Lewis and Clark set out for Louisiana Territory, President Jefferson, in his address to Congress, mentioned a mountain of salt that lived at the base of, I guess the base or the some part around the Missouri River. And they said this salt mine was 180 miles long, 45 miles wide. I mean, you can imagine the amount of money.
That's a lot of salt.
That's a lot of salt.
I like salt in my beer.
And of course, I mean, nowadays, I mean, it's prevalent everywhere. I mean, you go to the freaking grocery store, gas station, I mean, it's everywhere. A couple of fun facts that I found for you guys. The term kosher salt comes from its use in making meats kosher by removing surface blood from the meat, not made by being in accordance to the guidelines for kosher foods, as nearly all salts are kosher. So when you go to the store to buy kosher salt, it's pretty much the same as any other salt, except for we think of kosher salt as being a lot more coarse.
Coarse, yeah.
Right.
But was it blessed?
Well, I think you need a rabbi to
That's exactly right.
bless the meat.
That's what I always do with my salt.
Do you? Here's another one. Ancient Chinese nobility killed themselves by eating a pound of salt.
That is a lot of salt.
That's
Wait,
pretty.
why were they killing
Okay.
themselves?
Like in one sitting?
Yeah,
All right, guys.
Like that was their suicide?
I think that was their seppuku or their whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about with the
Just put a knife in
Evisceration?
your belly.
they disembowel themselves.
So I actually have a fun story about this. A few years ago, I was in my shop. Had a couple of guys who worked for me. And a buddy came over, and we're always doing challenges. Like one time we did like the what was it, like a chocolate, the pure chocolate, the challenge, the what do you call it, the cacao.
The cacao or
Yeah,
cocoa.
Yeah, cacao.
So we did
Cowabunga.
that, right? And then we did a bunch of other stupid,
Turtles,
like
John.
milk challenge, cinnamon challenge. It was so dumb. And me being a business owner, I let this happen, right? In my shop, my office.
Were you doing it or you were letting your employees
I
do it?
let them do it.
On the clock?
Yeah. No, it's after 5.
Oh.
But we would do this. We had some paychecks that were being betting back and forth, and truthfully, I should have stopped it, but I just didn't stop it, you know. But I actually had a buddy of mine. He come over and we were talking about different challenges, and he put forth. No, actually, I'm sorry. It was me. I was like, I bet you can't eat this amount of salt. So it was like it's the beer salt, the twang salt, right? It tastes good. Like you sprinkle a little bit on your beer, delightful.
Like a whole bottle,
But
or was it like a half a bottle?
it was actually a half a bottle of that. It's like almost the size of a $50 by 1 inch, you know. So $50. That's the bet. The thing is that he has to keep everything down for 10 minutes. If he can't, then okay, I win. It seems like almost like a full bet, right?
It seems like he should be able to do that.
eat a little bit of salt. The problem is you can't do it. Your body will reject it. Like the salt that you eat during dinner or when you make meals, that's nothing compared to the salt that he ate that day. So he puts it in his mouth and he's like laughing about it because it tastes good. It dissolves. It goes into his little belly there. And then little remnants. He's like, oh, this is so easy. I'm fixing to win. As he's sitting there, I start talking about the science of salt and about how
You didn't tell him before. I see your strategy here. That's pretty solid.
I want that $50.
I'm getting paid. Getting papers. I look at him and I'm like, Chris, you know the human body can only accept so much salt at one time. That's my first statement to him. He's just looking at me. He's like, yeah, whatever. No, seriously, Chris, you know the human body can only accept so much salt at one time. In fact, if it takes on more, it rejects it. And he's just like, I feel good. So, well, you got 9 minutes. Probably by minute 6, he felt queasy. By minute 8, he was in the bathroom.
What was he doing in the bathroom?
Yeah, well, you can guess.
Did he had a poop?
You could have taken that instead of doing that medicine.
He did not poop. He did the other orifice came out. It was so much so that once he was done, I had to help him to his vehicle. Somebody had to drive him home. That's how bad it was. The next day, he called me because he was still in bed and he felt sick to his stomach and couldn't go to work. That's how bad it was.
That's your own fault.
No,
You made your employees stay home.
he didn't work for me. He was a buddy.
Oh.
And I totally got paid $50.
$50.
But hindsight, now that I know that you get a pound of this shit and you die, it makes perfect sense because I just almost killed a buddy of mine.
Yeah, that was attempted murder.
How cool is that?
I mean, it's not running over somebody in your first pickup truck, but you tried to kill somebody.
Right.
That was an
Right.
accident.
Yeah. Carried
Yeah, I
his
was
own
sober.
bike. It's fine. No, I'm just saying, salt will kill you.
Would that be assault with salt?
Ha ha.
Ba-dum-bum.
It's Alvin's drums.
All right, another interesting fact that I stumbled upon. In 1980, a Texaco oil rig drilled on top of a salt mine underneath Lake, and I'm going to totally butcher the name, is Pioneer in Louisiana. When it drilled into the lake, it caused the lake to drain into a sinkhole. And in doing so, it swallowed 11 barges, and it caused a nearby canal to reverse its direction. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah, and in the salt mine, I think there was probably about 55 miners that were in there at that time, and they escaped, and they made it safely. But I was like, holy crap. I mean, these guys are drilling, looking for oil, and then they pop a hole into a salt mine, and this huge lake just dumps into it.
In the wrong direction, right?
Can you imagine the guy fishing? He's like, throws a line out. He's like, hey, Frank, how you over there? And then all of a sudden, it's just like, and also you're just like flowing in a lake, which is a river going around and around in a circle, right?
He's trying to start his little boat up. It's like,
And lake's empty and there's
Yeah.
just fish flopping around on dry ground.
yeah.
I think it's actually what happened.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure.
I don't think it drained it permanently because it did follow up and said the lake is now permanently salty. I don't know what that does to the ecosystem. I mean,
Oh, it changes it.
yeah.
Well, there's no
Because,
freshwater fish.
yeah, there's no freshwater fish in there.
Now you got sharks swimming in there.
Yeah.
Need some sharks in
You
there.
got a big brine.
These facts that I found for the salt, I found it on an article, or actually a website, and they posted an article, kickassfacts.com. So, and it's 25 kick-ass and interesting facts about salt. You guys go check it out. I mean, probably have about another, like I said, 25 other, facts that you guys can check out. Let's talk about Peppa.
You can only have salt or pepper for the rest of your life. Which one?
Salt.
I would take, well, obviously salt. I can't put pepper in my beer. I mean, I guess I could, but
You made the right decision.
Using pepper goes back at least 2,000 years BC in India. I almost want to say Indiana. God dang, man, Indiana's been around a while.
it's been a long time.
For a minute.
The exact extent of when it started, that remains a mystery. I mean, again, this happened 2000 BC. I mean, I'm not gonna say they were scribbling on walls, but I mean, they're scribbling on some tablets and stuff like that. And
And actually walls.
Maybe not scribbling. They were probably strategically drawing.
yeah, they said signs of ancient pepper trade from India to Egypt has been found, including peppercorns that have been stuffed into the nostrils of Ramses the Great when he was mummified. So, and that was 1303 to 1213 BC.
Correct.
So exactly. So it's been around a while.
Good years. Those were good years, for sure.
Oh, Ramses.
Did you say Wendy Peppercorn, by the way?
Sandlot.
It basically goes from the Roman time. I mean, I think it's 40 AD. I mean, you get the gist of it. I mean, pepper's been around for a long, long time. So is salt. So, I mean, it's one of the first early commodities that human civilization has messed around with. So, I mean, it was pretty much the Bitcoin of back in the day. I mean, people's wealth were valued in how much salt or pepper that they've had. So I mean, it's pretty crazy. So I got a couple of little fun facts for you guys.
Just to kind of elaborate on that, I'd be rich as hell right now because I got a lot of salt cans in my house.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be a noble person.
I would be a noble person.
Yeah.
Okay. Solid.
Few fun facts about pepper, and then we'll kind of wrap this up and we'll put this to bed. Pepper is the #1 selling spice in America. The United States is currently the biggest consumer of pepper, importing $671 million of pepper in 2009. And that was 18% of the world's pepper. Pepper comes in many colors: green, black, red, white, but they all come from the same plant. The color is related to how ripe the peppercorn is and how it's been processed. So when you go to the store and you see that multicolored red, white, black peppercorns, it's all the same. It's just one's been a little bit riper than the other, or one's been, I think, the white pepper. I don't know if they boil it or whatever, but they remove the skin of the peppercorn, which gives it that white color. And our table pepper, or did you buy at the grocery store or whatever, I think it's pretty much like probably maybe a
50-50 blend.
I don't know if it's a 50-50, but it might be like a 70-30 blend. A few pepper facts that I found, and I'm going to cite my source first. I got it off a website. It's Chef Zieg, Z-I-E-G. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, but it's chefzig.com. And he's got 21 black pepper facts that you didn't know about. Okay, so pepper is both rich in vitamin A and C. And one other weird fact is that pepper is also very high in caffeine.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I put it in my coffee.
Yeah. So when you run out of your coffee grounds, just go ahead and pull out a couple of pounds of pepper and then
Just brew that up.
Yeah.
That sounds
nice.
disgusting.
Kidding. Don't do that.
Can you put milk in that?
I'm
sugar?
sure you can put milk in anything, Eldon.
I've got nipples. Can you milk me?
Okay, so we may all know this, but pepper loses its flavor and aroma through evaporation. So keep it in an airtight container and out of the sun. Last but not least, pepper has been used in cooking for over 4,000 years, and pepper was placed in Egyptian tombs to accompany the pharaohs in their afterlife. And this was about 2,500 years before Christ.
Did you say tunes?
And it's tombs,
Because that would be Salt and Peppa again.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
tunes.
kind of ties that back into the
Tunes.
little Ramsey
Like
thing
some
about
tunes.
shoving peppercorns up his nose.
I guess one
It's
question
all-
I would ask is, what made salt and pepper go together? I mean, because that's a staple in everybody's home.
Have you not had salt and pepper together?
Well, I have, but
That's what happened.
that's what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just
You
listen to
can't
the
have
stories.
salt without pepper. The music would not be the same.
That's very true.
Well, guys, that's all I had about pepper and salt. I thought it was pretty interesting to do a little research on that. You hear salt and pepper all the time, and I thought it'd be good to pull together a couple of facts and do a little walk through history, and hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes. Next episode, garlic and paprika.
Yes. No, I promise. We're done with the history of seasonings.
Spices?
History of spices.
No, paprika has to come up next.
Right, yeah. It's
Cumin?
coming back around.
For sure.
You can't leave us hanging.
We're like,
So, wait, what are we getting in? Are we getting into some barbecue fails next?
Yeah,
Or
let's
what
go
do we
ahead
got
and
here?
transition to barbecue fails or barbecue wins.
This one's coming from Israel, and he is at Izzy Grills on Instagram. So, barbecue fell. When I was just starting to get more serious about barbecue, I decided to smoke a couple slabs of spare ribs and did little to no research before I did them. Poured smoke to them for about 5 to 6 hours, and he has a laughing crying emoji between these words here.
Well,
so
the
he-
emojis
he's
are
laughing.
important.
So, unwrapped, they came out looking good, but were inedible due to the amount of smoke. I now do quite a bit of research before cooking a new meat so I don't ruin a piece of meat. And to this day, the meat I struggle with consistency the most with is pork ribs. Was using the Kingsford grill. He's now using a Weber kettle. That is his.
I think we've all done that where we've just tried to cook something without doing any research about how it is supposed to be cooked.
Yeah, let's be honest. That's how you learn. You can go online and do a bunch of research. And of course, again, you don't want to fail all the time. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean, you do some
Right.
research, but again, the trial and error, the little bit of the failing, I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, it happens to all of us. I mean, I'm sure you can probably get some of these guys like Myron Mixon, or you got Matt Pittman from Meat Church. I mean, if you probably sit all these guys down, and they probably tell you the same. I mean, they started just like us, and they've failed a lot, and they've gotten to the point now that they're successful, and then and we're all in that same boat, just sitting there trying to learn this stuff.
For sure.
Research is key, man. Even in any aspect of life, if you think about it. I buy a car, then research it after I have it, and I realize I have a dumpster fire of a vehicle, and now I'm stuck with it.
I was gonna say, yeah, Eldon, you do a lot of like buying cars without researching.
His go-to.
Yeah,
Aldo bought a Hummer.
not just a Hummer; it was a H3.
Yeah. Which he took mudding.
I got my wife without researching that, and
Do you remember when you took the car mudding and then gave it to your wife to take it to church the next morning?
yeah, it was pretty muddy.
Oh my God.
we
There
had-
was mud through the sunroof. I mean, it was so much mud in this damn car. And then he goes to bed, of course. We all went to bed.
Well,
and
this
then
was
next
at, like-
morning, she has to take that car to
church.
the church. The inside was trashed. Like, literally, she walked in.
No, the
with
inside
mud.
wasn't bad. It was.
Oh,
it was.
bro.
No, I didn't have the windows down or anything. At that point, the Hummer was red. I brought it home that morning. It was brown from top to bottom, just brown. And yeah, she had to show up to work with that thing, or to church. So did not research that night neither. I did not. If I would have researched that night, I would have known that was going to happen, and I probably wouldn't have done it.
All right, so we've got a barbecue fail here. This is from Josh, 666 Grill on Instagram. Been buddies with him on there for a while. And this is his fail. And this is something that if you are on Instagram, if you're a food blogger or whatever it is, you can definitely relate to this. So he spent the whole day organizing photos and doing stories for this post, making an awesome homemade pizza, posting photos, prep photos, all the dough, the veggies, everything he was doing, he was posting it throughout the day for this cook. Gonna make an epic post at the end of this beautiful pizza pie. Seriously, so much effort and time, as you know, goes into these things, right?
Right.
I mean, you spend a whole day working on this thing, and you're just constantly posting things, your stories and whatnot, and you're hoping at the end that you can show off, the
The
result.
prize, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's looking forward to eating it and everything. It was looking beautiful. He grabs it.
And the brisket.
Yeah, he grabs it in the brisket. No. Grabs his pizza, turns to walk to where he's got it set up to take the final photo with, whatever background, whatever he's got. His pizza looks phenomenal. And as soon as he turns, he trips over his dog.
Ugh.
Pizza goes flying, absolutely destroyed. Ended up eating a dropped pile of dough, meat, cheese, and sauce. Wife and kids laughed for hours because they knew how much hard work I put into it. Laughing now was definitely not laughing then.
Yeah, we've all had that moment
Yeah,
where
it
we
sucks.
tripped, fell, dropped, whatever it is, and it's so frustrating.
Absolutely.
Like, you spend all day, putting this meal together and trying to get your pictures and do all this stuff so you can feed your family. But again, you want to put this on, social media and all this stuff like that, and then for the damn dog just run in front of you and you trip over him like pizza. I mean, that's straight out of just like a freaking cartoon or something.
At that point,
Exactly.
do you let the
What
dog
was
eat
his
it?
name?
Finish it up?
That's Josh. That's 666. 666 Grill.
Triple-
666. Listen, man, I get what you're doing. That sucks.
Yeah, we've been there. And actually, this
Never done that before.
Does he still have the dog?
right? But he did. He sent in a win as well. So
Okay.
I think James has that. He's going to share that.
Okay, yeah, this is Josh, and we'll go ahead and put out the Instagram handle as well, at 666 Grill on Instagram. So this is his barbecue win. It says a buddy calls him up. He says, "Hey, you want to cook some bison ribs for my family and friends?" And I'm thinking, of course, yes. He's like, "I love cooking beef ribs, and these should be similar, right?" So he's like, "Yahoo, score." He's like, well, the guy drops him off at his house, a few hours later, and it is a monster 40-pound rack. These bones are 25 inches plus long. He's like, they didn't even fit in his Traeger. He's like,
Good
so
Lord.
I'm going to read it verbatim. So I did some maneuvering to make sure they would fit, but by now I'm worrying about how I can cook them, the cooking method, times, etc., as I'm unfamiliar with bison, laugh out loud. What do I do? He's like, I called Chad Ward. He laughs.
So this guy's got Chad Ward on speed dial.
This guy's got Chad Ward.
If you don't know who that is, Whiskey Bent Barbecue.
Whiskey Bent Barbecue.
Yeah.
I mean, he owns a supply store as well. I mean, you can get like rubs and sauces and all that kind of stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Whiskey Bent Barbecue.
Yeah, he's got some new products out too.
Correct. So he calls Chad up, and of course Chad laughs and gives him some tips. And he's saying he follows him to the T. And seriously, to this day, it's the best cook that I've done. It's like I didn't sleep that night while they were on. I was just worrying about ruining this guy's massive stack of meat. But seriously, it shocked me, and I think it shocked everybody else. They devoured them, and we got some pretty unreal photos of those massive bones. By far, it was the most exciting and rewarding cook ever. 2 40-pound racks of bison ribs.
2 40-pound racks.
That's crazy.
God dang, I want to do that. He's up in Canada. I know
Is he
that.
up in Canada?
Yeah, so that they must be like.
We need to get with HEB down here and
Right?
see if they can start hooking
Come
us up.
on, Heb.
I know you can get
With-
some
with
ground
what,
bison.
40-pound racks?
Yeah,
Well,
That's
bison
not
ribs.
happening.
How big is the rib?
They're not giving that to us.
Well, he said the bone itself was 25 inches long.
Is he using the exaggeration that most guys use?
Curve for
Is there a
Real pleasure.
mathematic formula? Like
Yeah, it's probably like 7 inches.
7 inches.
No,
So.
I'm kidding.
But awesome. Hey, I mean, guys, this has been fun. I mean, really enjoyed doing this episode. Again, not to hammer home, but follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, check out the Facebook page. We'd love the interaction. We appreciate the support you guys give us. Send us your stories. We'd love to share it with everybody.
And I hope your butt's okay.
See you guys. Thanks.
Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Just grab them in the brisket.